Hey there guys, welcome to the meat shop. Thanks for clicking on. This video is part of a special video series inspired by you guys. I've been asked before for a recipe or sausage book, which I don't have, so I thought I would share my favorite book with you, which is Home Production of Quality Meats and Sausage by Stanley and Adam Marinsky. It is my favorite book. I think it's got great information in there for beginners and experts alike. And to celebrate my favorite book, I reached out to Stanley Marinsky and he gave me permission to do Marianski March. So we're going to do a recipe out of this book every day of March. And all the recipes and all the processes are right out of the book, which will be in the link below. That is, a link to the book will be in the description down below. So without any further ado, let's get into Marianski March. Hello and welcome to another episode of Marianski March. It's Sunday morning, beautiful morning. I'm happy to be making this for you because this is one I've never made and it's gonna be really cool. This is a flavor combination I have never tried. This sausage is called the Russian hot smoked sausage off page 269 of Home Production of Quality Meats and Sausage by Adam and Stanley Marinsky, which you already seen in the intro. This guy here, the description says, reading right from the book, this is a hot smoked version of the Russian sausage, which was originally a cold smoked and not cooked sausage. So it had been a semi-dried kind of fermented process or sausage before. Like lots of these ones in this book, you can do it either way, but we're going to do the hot smoked version today. It's got some crazy flavors in there, so I'm really looking forward to trying it. You know, cardamom, allspice, a little bit of brandy, sugar, salt, pepper cure, and it's going to be a little bit of pork and beef with some beautiful back fat added to it. So step number one, I got the meat all weighed out here ahead of time. I'm doing 2 kilograms. So I got a little beef, I got a little pork, and I got a little bit of pork back fat. And I got the spices weighed out here ahead of time. So we're gonna do the meat through a coarse grind. And then it says to cut the back fat into 3mm cubes manually, but I'm just gonna run them through the smaller plate today. So let's grind our meat. All right, so I got all this beautiful meat here, which I just pulled out of the cooler, so it's nice and cold. I got the back fat over here, lean pork, and beef. So I'm gonna run that fat through first, keep it separate, run it through a smaller plate afterwards. Now I know grinding can maybe change the texture a little bit versus a cut. A grinder can smear fat a little bit if it's not cold enough. But I'm not too worried. It's not going to affect it too badly. Look at those nice strips of back fat. Ooh, a little bit of meat in there. That's off the cap of the pork loin. All right, so we got our fat there. Keep that separate. We'll give it another round on a finer plate. Spin it around. Grind our pork, lean pork and beef through together here. Look at that beautiful meat color there, guys. Combination of pork and beef. All right, so that's going to be the end of the grind for the meat. And I'll fire that fat through one more time. Plate swapped. Keep them knives and blades together, ladies and gentlemen. You get more life out of your plates and blades. And we're off to the races. Look at that nice pearly white fat. You have nice little specks of that throughout the sausage. There we go. That's the fat for our lean pork and beef. Okay guys, so that grinding's done. I got my lovely aromatic spice mixture here. Oh, got a nose full of ginger. Whoops. It's right up the nose. Smells good though. Whew. All right, we'll sprinkle that on there. Some of them nice dark spices in the meat mixture. Then we need wine or brandy for our Russian hot smoked sausage. So I have some brandy here. E&J brandy, very special. American brandy. American brandy in a Russian sausage. That'll end the Cold War. Is this even open? Oh, I don't even know what this brandy tastes like. I've never even had it. All right. So what do we need for 2 kgs? 120 milliliters. Holy, the Russians don't shy away. All right. Well, that smells nice, but it's Sunday morning, so I better not. All right, and we need a little cold water to go along with that as well. Get that measured out. All right, so this sausage is gonna require some mixing.
All right, guys, so here looking back as I'm editing this, I make a bit of a mistake right here. The brandy required a little extra mixing to get the protein extraction, but I already have the fat in there at this point, and I've already ran it through the grinder twice, so it's already warmed up a little bit, and now I mix it for quite a while to get the protein extraction to get it sticky. So what that ends up doing is it kind of smears the fat in this sausage. It's still a pretty good sausage in the end, but you'll see in my end review I didn't get quite the protein extraction I wanted. So in hindsight, what I would do here next time is I would take the fat out, pop it in the cooler, pop it in the freezer, mix my lean meat with the brandy and ingredients until I got a really nice sticky sausage. Then I would pop the fat back in, just toss it in a little bit. You'd have nice, clearly defined particles instead of what I get at the end. Or you could follow the recipe book and do little cut cubes. Cut cubes don't smear as bad, so you would have a better textured sausage at the end. So made a mistake right here, pointing it out. And but we'll carry on and you'll see kind of the results at the end.
Get our fat tossed in with our coarse ground pork and beef, and that smells interesting. This is going to be a really strange flavor combination that's out of my normal. I'm really looking forward to trying it. I like trying new things. I like Marianski March. It gets me out of my habitual pattern. Add our brandy and water. Now that I've been mixing for a couple minutes here. Phew. Just smells boozy and spicy. It kind of smells like Christmas or something. I don't usually use hard alcohols in the sausage making, so I'm not sure how it's going to affect the protein extraction. I've been mixing for a couple minutes here, and it's even take just a little bit longer than normal to get the protein extraction. It's also a little bit more water, so that's, what is that? That's 12% total weight. I usually do 10, so that shouldn't be too big of a difference, but half of that is booze. So we'll see if we can get some protein extraction. Okay guys, so I've been mixing for a couple minutes here. It's starting to come, bind up together, one big lump. Starting to pull the gloves off, so that's a good sign. Get a handful. She sticks to the hand. That's our signature check. So the next step is to get it into fibrous beef middles or fibrous synthetic casings, 40 to 60 millimeters. So it's gonna be a little bit bigger diameter, 2 kilogram batch. And hang at room temperature for 1 to 2 hours and then start our smoking process. So let's get them stuffed. All right, I'm gonna load that Russian hot smoked after. Still smell that lovely brandy and spices. I thought afterwards though, guys, I ground that fat in there, then I mixed it with my hands, and the brandy took a little while extra to mix to get that protein extraction. I should have kept the fat separate, then added it after. It's not gonna ruin the sausage, it's just going to, you know, that fat's gonna be kind of blended in there versus having nice little particles you can see, and it might not retain the juiciness. At the very best it could. It's still gonna be really good, I know it, but that's what I would have done differently there. I would have mixed it in afterwards. But now I'm just gonna take this, load it in here, and push it down to get any air pockets out. So take a big ball, load it in, beat the air pockets out. Okay, the Russian hot smoked in there. I worked all the air pockets out. I got these 50 millimeter fibrous casings that it's ready to get stuffed into. You just kind of dip them in water, get them soaked. You don't gotta soak them for a half hour or anything. You can just fill them up with water from dry and they're ready to go. And they're smoke permeable, really nice, easy casings to work with. It says to stuff firmly, so grab tightly around the horn so you get a bit of sausage coming out, and then continue to grip and let it slide through. This will work the air, if there is any air pockets, out the back. Let the air slip out the back, but that sausage casing gets nice and full and firm. We'll have a nice round sausage when we're done, and leave a little bit at the end to tie off later. Stick a second one on here. All right, there we go. Oops. Or one. Oh, perfect. 2 full. Now, all I do, guys, is I push the sausage down so it's nice and firm, kind of gripping it. And then I take a string, just butcher twine. You can use the hog rings or the metal clips if you have them. They work fine. But string is cheapest and easiest. One less gadget in the house. Just give it a good double knot. There we go. Voila. Ready to go to the smoker. All right, our 2 Russian hot smoked sausages here are gonna hang out in the smokehouse with no temperature, just drying. It's like hanging them at room temperature for an hour, and then we're gonna start to apply the smoke, and they're hanging out beside their cousins, the Moscow sausage. Anyway, so they're just gonna dry for a bit, then we're gonna start hitting them with smoke. Okay guys, so our kosher, Moscow, and Russian hot smoked sausages have been sitting in the smokehouse for about an hour. I just popped these Yadgurst in with them. And now I've popped in the chips just a little bit ago here. They're just starting to smoke. So we're gonna smoke them for about 2 hours until they develop a nice red color. And then we're gonna bring them up to, I think it says 155 in the book. All right guys, it's time to pull our Russian hot smoked sausage out of the smokehouse. The smokehouse alarm has gone off, which means it's hit 160, which is a little higher than it's supposed to in the book. I forgot to adjust the settings, but it still should be nice, cherry red, and we'll give it a water bath. But let's have a look at it. All right, guys, first look here. Ooh, look at those guys. Doesn't that look awesome? All right, there's the Russian hot smoked. First look at it in the smokehouse. I got a little bit of wrinkle. Feels a little bit soft, so I might not have got enough protein extraction while I was mixing with that brandy in there, but we will see. We'll get it cooled down and we'll have a look. All right, guys, so I got a couple we pulled out of the smokehouse there all together. We're just gonna give them a nice rinse, cool them down, stop that cooking. I still got them all on the stick, so I know which one's which, but I'm just gonna rinse them off for a few minutes, stop that, cool them down right away, and then we're gonna pop them into the cooler. All right, so I just pulled them out of that little water bath I'd been spraying them with. And I'm just gonna let them drip dry in the cooler overnight, and we'll dive into them first thing in the morning. All right, so the Russian hot smoked sausage has cooled down overnight. I was a little bit worried when I was pulling it out of the smokehouse there. It was pretty soft, so I thought maybe from that brandy I didn't get enough protein extraction, but it seems to have firmed up real nice. Got a little bit of wrinkling in it, so which means we probably lost a little bit of that fat in the cooking process, but that's okay. They still look pretty top notch. And I'm looking forward to diving into these guys because I want to see how that brandy tasted, and I want to see how that texture looks on the inside. And we'll cut into the bottom here. If there's a big fat pool at the bottom here, yeah, I didn't quite get perfect enough protein extraction. Oh, it's not bad. It's not bad. Being particular, but that's okay. All right, the Russian sausage, cut into it here and get you a cross section. Yeah, not perfect protein extraction, that's for sure. So guys, it still looks pretty good there, but as you can see, it's a little bit crumbly. So if I was to critique that, yeah, I probably did that wrong. I should have mixed just the meats in until I had lots of protein extraction and put that the fat in afterwards with the brandy and just gave it a light toss. You can kind of just see it's just a little bit, you can feel it more or less. It's just a little bit crumbly. So it's not perfect. This one. I can do better next time. But besides that critique there, we better slice into it and see how it tastes. Some pretty neat flavor combination on this one. That cardamom, or how do you say it? Cardamom? Brandy. Oh, you can still smell the brandy quite a bit. That's neat. Wow, that's a load of flavors. It just hits you like wham. Allspice in there, cardamom, brandy. That's good. Not what you would get. I'm from Central Alberta, Canada. You wouldn't get this up here typically, but yeah, that's really, really interesting flavors. Really, a lot of shit. Excuse me, a lot of stuff going on in there. That's it's still really good though. It's a little bit crumbly. And I got maybe the fat smeared a little bit through there. So I would have liked to had nice, clear fat pockets and stuff. So a little technical mistake on my end there. But, and that would have made it just that much better. But that's still really good sausage. This is one of the funnest experiments I've ever gone through. I'm glad I did this Marinsky March. I hope you like it too. If you do, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And we're going to do a sausage out of home production and quality meats by Adam and Sally Marinsky every day this March. So stay tuned. Oh, that's neat. That's really good.